Hi, I'm Abiola Jackson. This is the Entertainment News and Celebrity Gossip TV, Sunday, March the 9th. In the news for entertainment, we have Tia Jones dropping cryptic hints on social media after NFL boyfriend Xavier Worthy arrested over assault. Now, this is courtesy of essentiallysports.com. Shout out to them for this news story. Fair use, fair use, fair use. So controversy and sports go hand in hand. Just look at Xavier Worthy and Tia Jones. Last year, they used to be each other's biggest fans. The duo even called themselves the Worthies. Now it seems to them both that the other is simply unworthy. Last July, we saw the Kansas City Chiefs wide receiver bend his knee for Jones. This year, everything's different. While he already missed out on the ring in the Super Bowl, he might miss out on the roses too. Why? Well, Tia might have a clue to that. But to understand Worthy's case better, we have to go back to March 7th. And it so happened Xavier Worthy found himself in a serious situation after being arrested on charges of domestic violence. According to a report from US Magazine, Worthy was taken into custody on Friday, March 7th, charged with assault against a family or household member by impeding their breathing or circulation. The public remains unaware of the identity of the reported victim. Kansas City Chiefs are currently investigating the whole situation on their end. Meanwhile, Worthy maintains his silence towards both his arrest and the implicated charges. But as a result, the chief will have to spend his time behind bars for now, until March 8th, of course, when he can finally appear before a judge. But what charges might Worthy face come March 8th? Well, the maximum prison term Worthy could receive for assault against a family or household member by impeding breathing or circulation would be 10 years. Official information about the arrest have not been released because investigators from the police and district attorney office are actively investigating the case. So there's Xavier Worthy's arrest. They have an update on Xavier Worthy's arrest as Andy Reid takes an $11 million decision. So that's Tia Jones and Xavier Worthy. That's there in the picture. So the event timing creates significant inquiries about the actual causes leading to these charges. Still, all available information remains under active investigation. To make things more interesting, a quick scroll through Tia Jones's Instagram reveals that as of March 7th, she's no longer following Xavier Worthy on Instagram. And he too isn't following her either. But at the same time, the strange situation stands out because their social media posts continue to appear together. People are uncertain whether this changes this change indicates a relationship ending breakup or simply adds more unpredictable confusion to their situation. Only time will tell, but the worthy couple were even discussing marriage, so what now? Worthy and Tina Jones first meeting was a coincidence, but the coincidence kept going because destiny has different plans for them. On the pregame podcast, Jones shared how the Chiefs wide receiver first slid into her DMs. You know how it is with Instagram, swipe in, swipe out, she laughed. She admitted that she didn't reply to his initial message. But Faith had a different plan for them sometime later. The two randomly ended up at the same Texas restaurant. Jones was training there and Worthy was playing for the University of Texas. She had already been having a horrible night, running late for dinner when a car cut her off. It turned out to be Worthy in the car ahead of her. When they both arrived at the valet, Tia Jones spotted Worthy and immediately recognized him. He gave me a look. "I've been looking for you," Jones remembered. "That's why God had me late to that dinner, because I met my man." And the rest is history. Later on, he asked her out on a date. Fast forward to July 2024, and Worthy proposed to her in a fairy tale way on the beach with a beautiful red flower. "Marry me" sign. 2 months later, Worthy had made his NFL debut, scored 2 touchdowns as they prepared for their wedding. They even bought their first house together, but now the million-dollar question is, will they truly turn the house into a home? Or will it just be 4 walls and a roof? Time will tell. Now, this is the update now. According to people.com, shout out to people.com. It says Kansas City Chiefs player Xavier Worthy arrested for allegedly domestic violence, but won't face charges, the DA says. They're not going to, so they waived the charges. That's the update. So the charges have been waived. But still, my thoughts on this are, in my opinion, I feel that you're talking about getting married. He moved in. He's doing too much too soon, Xavier Worthy. Too much too soon. He's not vetting her properly. He's not vetting her properly. He just rushed into marriage too soon. For me, you have to vet the woman out for a long time to see if there are any red flags or any hints of any red flags. And you have to get to know the person properly. I don't think he knew her well enough, in my opinion. I don't think he knows her well enough. That's why they gave hints. They gave hints in the article that she dropped a hint that she unfollowed him, and he unfollowed her. That's the cryptic message that the article mentioned. So that's telling me right there that everything moved so fast. They met when 2023 or 4 or something like that, and then within a year, he proposed. Within a year or less than a year, he proposed to her. Just like, I mean, that's too early. I mean, he didn't like I said, he didn't vet her properly. He didn't that's basically what it is. And I believe, in my opinion, they said, I know the article didn't say that there, but I read other articles, and it was a domestic violence. It's just they mentioned something about he wanted the female off the property. I believe it was Tia Jones. I believe they didn't reveal the person's name. Her name has not been revealed to the public, but in my opinion, I think, and I won't say I believe, but I'm gonna go out on a limb and say I feel that the person that he wanted off his property because he accused her of infidelity. I read this in another article. I think it was the people.com. I read that there. I believe it's her. I believe it's Tia Jones, the one that he's supposed to marry. He accused her of infidelity. Get off my property, get off my property. And then she refused, that person who's anonymous, they didn't reveal the person's name, she refused to get off the property. And I think that's when the domestic violence started from that point. From that point on, but they're mentioning in the articles a family member or a friend of the family. But in my opinion, I believe it's Tia Jones. I believe it's her. I believe that's the one that Xavier Worthy committed the domestic violence on. He committed the domestic violence on his girlfriend, soon to be wife. That's what I believe. Because like I mentioned in the article, what the article mentioned, what I read, they both unfollowed each other. They both unfollowed each other on Instagram. So that's what makes me believe it's her. He's the one that committed domestic violence against her. Supposed to be his future wife, fiance right now. So that's my take on that. That's what I believe, and that's my take on that. But although they have not revealed the person's name, or they have not revealed the person who it is, but that's what I believe. That's what I believe. And like I said, he he did things too much too soon. Too much too soon. He jumped in too much. He didn't, like I said, he didn't vet her properly to see if there's any red flags before jumping into something serious like marriage. You know. That's what I think. That's what I believe is the biggest mistake that he made. He jumped in too soon. Instead of getting to know her properly, vet her up, vet her. You gotta vet her and get to know her properly for a period of time. Like marrying within a year, it's just too soon. Too soon. Big mistake. And you're an NFL athlete. You're an NFL athlete. You're a young NFL. You're a young NFL wide receiver for the Kansas City Chiefs. You're a big household name. You're a big household name of that stature. You have to. You can't let us jump into marriage like that. You gotta vet the person. You gotta vet them out. You gotta vet them out. You gotta vet her out to see, like I said, if there's any red flags or to see if there's anything that that deems her not worthy of marriage. You have to look at all these things. You have to look at. And in my opinion, he didn't look at those things. He jumped in too soon. And then then they bought a house together. Look at another thing. They bought a house together. They bought a house together, from what the article said. The article said they bought a house together. Yeah, that's what they said. They bought it. Look at that. All that within a year. Met the woman within a year. Doing all that. Proposed to her on the beach to get married, and they bought a house together. It's too much too soon. Too much too soon. Too much too soon. Hey, yeah, that's the point. You can't rush. That's the moral of the story. You can't rush into things like that so soon. You gotta vet the woman. You have to. You gotta vet them. Or else you're gonna run into situations like this, like what was described here in the essentiallysports.com article, the news story. You're gonna run into those sort of things that was described in the news story. Domestic violence. You know, you're gonna run into all these sort of things. Then you tell the woman to get off my property. Accused her of infidelity. Like I said, they didn't see who the woman is, but I believe it's Tia Jones. I believe it's his supposed to be his future wife or fiance. Accused her of infidelity. Tell her to get off the property because he accused her of infidelity. She didn't want to leave. She didn't want to get off the property. And I believe that's where the domestic violence started. That's when it began from that point. Cause I read that. I read that here. Let me see something. Hold on, I'm gonna check something here. Let me see if I can find that piece. Because he told her to get off the property. Let me see if I can find that here. I'm gonna find that here right now, just to show you guys. Let me see if I can find that. I know I read that here. See? I think I got it right here. Let me see if I can find it. Let me turn the camera here. It's right at the bottom here. Peoples.com. Got it right. Let me see if I find it. See, you get right here. This is it. Look at right here. The complainant, that's the woman. I believe the complainant is Tia Jones. They're not telling you who it is, but I believe it's her. So the complainant was recently asked to vacate Mr. Worthy's residence upon discovery of her infidelity. You see? I know I read that there. I know it was in another article. She had refused to do so, made a number of extortive efforts prior to resorting to the baseless allegations against Mr. Worthy. See? And I believe from that point, what I showed you, that was the people.com. People.com. From that point, I believe that's when all that started. But that's when the domestic violence started. From that point on. So they leave the property. Accuse her of infidelity. You see, that's what I talked about. You gotta vet the woman properly. See if there's any red flags before you jump in and propose marriage on a beach. Before you jump in and ask the woman to let's move in together. Let's buy a house and move in together. It's too much too soon. That's my whole point. So I mean, he got himself to blame. He got himself to blame. Then you get emotionally tied up and caught up with the woman, who you hardly know from a can of paint. You hardly know her from a can of paint. You get emotionally tied up with her. Because you're not vetting her. You're not vetting her properly. You're not doing it. You're not vetting her. Instead of you're falling in love with the woman, but you're not vetting her properly. You gotta vet her. That's the whole point. Or else, like I said, you're gonna get caught in a whole bunch of hot mess, like what he got caught up in. You know what happens? You get caught up in that whole mess. Then you got Coach Andy Reid of the Chiefs. They mentioned there that he uses $11 million, the $11 million on another receiver. Meaning you never know. Maybe they might end up. I hate to say it, but you never know. A case like this, you never know. They may end up cutting Worthy. They might cut him. They might cut him because they might cut him. You know. But we'll see. But I mean, that's you know. We'll see. Oh man, that's all I gotta say about this. That's all I gotta say. I have nothing else to say about this. But hit the like and subscribe button for more entertainment news and for Celebrity Gossip TV. And let me know what you guys think in the comments section. Let me know what you think. Do you think Xavier Worthy and his supposed to be fiance, soon to be wife, according to the article, do you think they're going to remain together, or do you think they're finished? That's it for them. There's no coming back from this. Or do you think they're going to get married and everything's going to be back to where it was before? Let me know what you think. Give me your thoughts and opinions. Hit the like and subscribe button for entertainment news on Celebrity Gossip TV. Until next time, peace.